Aloha, everybody. What's up? It's Etchy here from Dead Draw Game, bringing you another interview with Nicholas Moffitt. Nick, you're in Hawaii now. You've been here for a while, but you just got to the island.
Yeah, just got to Honolulu. I was in Kauai for a few days before vacationing with my family and my girlfriend. That was really nice. I liked it better there than here so far. It's a little too urban here for me.
Do you think that relaxation time will help you be better prepared for the
Hopefully,
tournament?
yeah. I was brainstorming while I was on the helicopter overlooking the
Were you
islands.
theorying some games?
I was theorying some games
Yeah.
up there, yeah, while I was admiring all the beautiful views. It's great.
Very nice. So I wanted to ask you first, have you kind of already figured out what you're going to play? Do you have your deck choice like 99% locked in, 90%
I'd
locked in?
say maybe 80%.
80%,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I asked this to
I'm
Hedrick.
between two ones right now. I got something that if it goes all well tomorrow, we'll stick with that, and otherwise we'll fall back to the comfort pick.
Okay.
Yep.
So when you're making these decisions for these big tournaments, what are the things you're looking for in testing, or final data points you're trying to get to make a final decision on a deck list?
Just beating the matchups I want to beat and having play into everything, being a strong, consistent deck. With such a big tournament like this one, I don't think it's the best idea to make a specific meta call. So having something that can do decent into anything, I think, is relatively important.
Right. In general, your preparation for this tournament, do you think it's been pretty in line with your regular preparation for other tournaments?
I would say a lot
elevated?
more, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still the same type, but
usually,
just more.
Yeah. Usually, I'll start preparing maybe a few weeks in advance. This one was 2 months in advance. So, ever since NAIC, the end of NAIC, I've been playing, at least a few times a week. Good sit down session and get a lot of games in. So I feel pretty well prepared coming into this World Championship. Hopefully this will be the one I can finally make a good placement at. Last year was the first time I felt like I really had what it took to go all the way. Unfortunately, had some ties early and then missed one of my rounds later on. So only ended up in 50th. Could have been top 16 if I hadn't missed the round by accident. So
What happened?
I'll try not to do that this time. I was literally just walking around the convention center listening to music, and I didn't hear that the pairings were up.
Oh my god.
And I finally realized, 5 minutes into the round, which was 1 minute,
Just a little
I got over there
wow.
and they had already signed the slip, unfortunately. So,
Wow. That is heartbreaking, especially in day two. To happen. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. On that same note then, how many World Championships have you been to as a competitor?
Jeez. Not that many.
Okay.
Let's see. I started 2014. That was juniors. And then 2015 as a senior. 2016, I don't think I did that one.
It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I think I skipped a few.
Okay.
And then I went to 18, I want to say. Skipped 19. And then 22, 23. So this would be what? Was that 5 or 6?
I don't know. Sure.
1, 2, 3. This will be the 6th. I
Okay,
think.
6.
Yeah.
So you've gone to a lot, I think, is the
Yeah.
takeaway here. Is there anything that makes this one different for you as a competitor than the previous
I think
ones?
the level of preparation. I took the summer off specifically to prepare for this tournament.
Right. Do we normally have this much time for between final
No,
tournaments?
it's usually not as much. Yeah, it's usually only about a month instead of 2 months.
Yeah.
And in the past years, it's been sometimes the same format as NAIC. Like last year, they mix it up, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't want to get my hopes up too much. But I really hope this could be the one. Or even if I don't win, at least a top 8 or something.
Sure, yeah. It's always hard with just the sheer amount of variance in Pokemon, right? But
yeah.
as long as you prepare.
I'm pretty good at getting to top cut usually. Once I get there, it hasn't gone too well. Since then.
But you feel
Hello,
like you're
Shai.
Oh.
Shay, you want to
hi.
come up in here?
Come say hi.
How's it
How's it going,
Good,
dude?
pretty good.
We haven't met in person.
No,
What's up,
I've met
dude?
in
How's it
person.
going?
Nice to meet you, buddy.
How was your trip?
We got the Shai Burton here.
Hop into the video.
Hop in.
So, of course you're filming. What are you filming?
Just
a
a little
quick little
interview
interview,
about
yeah.
me.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, you think so? All
There you
right.
go. Unless you want to put some cards down.
Well, it's just the mics. You don't want to be too close for them because they're
Fair enough.
sensitive. But yeah.
This guy's a pro though with the
Yeah.
whole.
I wouldn't go
video.
that far. I never do. either.
I do love your videos, man. They're
Oh, I
great.
appreciate that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
We should
here we
leave
go.
this in, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this will stay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be there, so I can do my
All right.
work
later.
Good to see you.
tomorrow,
Good luck,
but
man. If I don't
I'm
see
sure
you.
I'll catch you around.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care, boss.
Later.
Good stuff.
Where are we at?
Just talking about my preparation, I guess, and how it's been a lot more. Yeah, like the past 2 summers were where I was good enough as a player to go deep, I think. Before COVID, I wasn't really that great, obviously.
Yeah.
But then I was working full time, and so I would kind of get home from work and be like too tired to practice. So this year I've been
Relatable.
putting
I
in
think
a
a
lot
lot
more
of
time.
people, a lot of reviewers can relate to this. Yeah.
So, this year I decided to take off between undergrad and grad school.
Right.
Figured it would be the last summer I'll have before I have to be working for the rest of my
your life.
So we'll see.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing I want to mention too is just the last couple of podcasts we've kind of gotten everyone's thoughts on their just general opinion on the meta and how things have been shaping up so far. Obviously, you've been playing this for like 2 months. So yeah, what do you think?
I
about
think
it?
it's been really interesting to see it evolve, even with nothing happening.
I know, literally no tournaments, just online stuff.
It's literally just people like talking to each other, and they're like, "Oh, at first Zard's good." I was on Drago from the start, honestly. Like, that was the first.
Like as
deck
soon as you
after
played against it at
NAIC.
NAIC.
I was like, yeah, that guy kind of bricked, but his deck was cool. I'm going to try that out.
Yeah.
The Kiram seems really strong. So I've been playing Drago for months. I won 2 cups with it.
Yeah.
So that's my safety pick if the other deck that I won't leak now works out.
Yeah, we'll
Doesn't
record
work out,
another interview
rather.
about that deck later.
Yeah,
But
and then we can post that if I end up playing it.
yeah,
And it doing well, hopefully.
But yeah, do you feel the main thing we were talking about with everybody was like it does seem like everything kind of revolving around Regidrago,
Right.
where everyone's just like
Yeah.
there was a point
It's
where
definitely
like
the deck to beat.
yeah, there's a point where like a week or two ago everyone would have been like, oh, confidently this is the number 1 deck that everyone's going to be playing, but now it feels like everyone's just going to be countering it.
Right.
How do you feel about like where things are actually going to?
Yeah, that's what makes me
Shake
want
out.
to lean away from it now. That it's getting all of the hype that if people are bringing their Lugia, which is an okay matchup with the Temple that we put in.
It's
there.
close enough, yeah.
And then like stuff like Raging Bolt that 3 weeks ago even I wouldn't have expected many people to bring.
Yeah.
Where
That's another
maybe-
deck. Just hype
maybe
is
now
going
they
up
will.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's going to end up being a pretty diverse meta, honestly.
For sure.
Which again goes back to the point of wanting to bring something that kind of cover all your bases. People talk about having to fold certain matchups, but I don't think that's necessarily true. You can play something that, at least has chances into everything.
Yeah, for sure. Do you feel like?
And I think Drago is one of those decks still.
Yes, for sure.
It's got its counters, but it's kind of like Silver Tempest Lugia, where the counters exist, but you can still beat them.
Yeah. It's a very strong deck. Do you feel like it's as high rolly as other people have been kind of saying?
It
Or like
can be
inconsistent,
at times. Not inconsistent, no. I've been getting.
I guess the
turn two attack
inconsistency
pretty
that
regularly.
people talk about is like with the high rolling, but like getting the turn 2.
It's
claw
more how many
catcher.
resources you have to burn, and that play you're
Right.
not even supposed to go for. You shouldn't do it early. You should save it for the end.
Right.
But that's another point entirely. Yeah, if you do that against Guardy, you kind of play yourself. Honestly, you should save it to the end.
Yeah. Is there anything other kind of like big takeaways you've had from your like 2 months of testing regarding the format?
Yeah, mainly just the Drago's pretty good.
Drago's
Definitely
That makes
good
sense.
activity. I discovered that pretty early on.
Yeah. What about Chien-pao? That's a deck that you were pretty high on before.
Not a fan, unfortunately.
Not a fan of it.
No.
Is it just because of
Don't see it.
Drago or what?
That's the main one, yeah. Also, I realized that NAIC, the Gardevoir matchup's not even that good. If they have double Monkey Dory and that Devo and stuff, so yeah. And then Zard with the Dusknoir is also another
does add
potential
problems,
scary,
yeah.
another potential scary deck. I tested that one a bit. It's still pretty even, honestly. Like it was super favored before, now it's pretty even. But yeah, you gain Pheasantipity, you gain Rescue Stretcher, but it doesn't make up for the influx of bad matchups.
Yeah. Makes sense. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this interview. Again, I'm going to record another secret special interview with Nick, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that later. But thank you so much for watching. We'll have more Worlds interviews coming up, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.